You know, it's remarkable how those first few minutes of our day hold the power to shape everything that follows. It's like an invisible key is handed to us the moment we open our eyes. The problem is, we often don't even realize we have this key in our hands. The rush begins, the phone buzzes, the clock pressures us, and before we know it, we're in the middle of a storm without even speaking to the one who calms the winds. But when we choose, even for a moment, to silence everything around us to speak, with God before anything else, something changes, not just within us, but around us too. God doesn't need long speeches or rehearsed prayers. He only needs a willing heart. A heart that acknowledges, Lord, I am here and I need you. Jesus taught us this through his own life. Instead of starting his day by solving the problems around him, he would withdraw to quiet places even before sunrise. It wasn't an imposed routine, but a need of his soul. And if the very Son of God saw prayer as a priority, why do we so often treat it as a last resort? Starting the day with God is more than a religious gesture. It's an alignment. It's when we place our minds, our hearts, and our intentions under the light of the one who sees all. And when we do that, no matter how challenging the day may be, we carry within us a peace that does not come from this world. There's something powerful about starting the day this way. It's as if we're putting on an invisible armor. Not an armor made of steel, but of faith, grace, and direction. It's the difference between walking blindly and walking with someone who holds our hand firmly. And this choice is within our reach every morning. Just stop, take a deep breath, and say, God, first of all, I want to be with you. When we give God our first thoughts of the day, he transforms even what seems irrelevant into something full of purpose. The conversation that seemed ordinary gains value. The task that seemed tedious takes on meaning. Because God doesn't just transform big events, he transforms hearts. And when he transforms ours, everything around us changes. It's amazing to see how God's presence illuminates even the simplest details. What was once worry becomes prayer. What was fear becomes trust. What was silence transforms into listening. Sometimes we think we need to understand everything to trust God, but the truth is that trusting often means following, even without understanding. And when we do that early in the day, when we commit every part of our day into his hands, we are not being weak, we are being wise, because true wisdom begins when we recognize our dependence on God. And that's not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of spiritual maturity. Perhaps today you wake up with a heavy heart, full of unanswered questions. Or maybe the day started well, but you feel an emptiness you can't even explain. In either case, God wants to speak with you. He is present in the silent mornings, in the restless early hours, in the hurried coffees, and in the quiet commutes. He is there, waiting for a simple, "Good morning, Father." And in that moment, something realigns. Because you are no longer alone. This daily connection changes everything, not because the problems disappear, but because your attitude towards them changes. You walk with more confidence, you love with more lightness, you work with more purpose. It's as if a new perspective takes over you, not based on empty optimism, but on living faith. So, if this message resonated with you, here's a different kind of request. Subscribe to the channel as one plants a seed of faith. And more than that, comment below what your biggest challenge is in starting your day with prayer. Your sharing might be the answer for someone who is struggling silently. Let's transform ordinary mornings into divine encounters together. And if you knew there was a treasure waiting for you every morning, wouldn't you rush to find it? God's presence is that treasure, a treasure that doesn't wear out, doesn't get lost, doesn't depend on mood or circumstance. He is there, ready to be accessed. But the world tries to convince us that the most important thing is to rush, produce, solve, compete. And we end up getting on that wheel without realizing we are leaving the essential behind. But the closer we get to God in the first hours of the day, the more we realize that everything that truly matters is in Him. Praying at dawn is declaring, God, you are more important than any task, any schedule, any person. And this declaration changes the atmosphere, not only within us, but also in the way we treat others, how we face obstacles, how we see opportunities. Morning prayer is the foundation. It's the soil where our decisions will be planted. It's the compass that points to heaven even when everything seems confusing on earth. Many of us want direction, but we don't stop to listen. We want answers, but we don't ask the right questions. We want strength, but we don't seek the source. It's all available, but it requires a choice, and that choice can be made now. Tomorrow, when you wake up, before anything else, bend your knees, or simply close your eyes and speak to God, even if it's just for a minute. 1 minute with Him can change the rhythm of 24 hours. Let Him be the first to hear your voice and the first to speak to your heart. Believe me, this habit has the power to transform not only your day, but your life. And as you make this a constant practice, you will notice how you become lighter, more attentive, more steadfast in the face of difficulties, because God becomes the center, and everything else organizes itself around Him. If you've made it this far, it's because something within you recognizes the value of this truth. So I want to invite you, with all joy and affection, to subscribe to the channel as one finds a safe place to nourish faith every day. Here, every word is thought out to strengthen your walk with God. And please share in the comments. How do you start your days? Do you have a significant story with morning prayer? What did you learn in this video? Your voice is important. Your story can touch other hearts. And together, we will continue to build a space where heaven meets routine and prayer transforms